Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Victoria Abril is a celebrated Spanish actress and singer, known for her passionate performances, versatility, and long-standing collaboration with acclaimed filmmaker Pedro Almodóvar. Over several decades, she has become one of the most recognizable and respected figures in Spanish and European cinema. Early life. Victoria Abril was born Victoria Mérida Rojas on July 4, 1959. In Madrid, Spain. She initially trained as a ballet dancer at the Conservatorio Superior de Música de Madrid, displaying early talent in performance and movement. However, her career soon took a different turn when she began appearing on Spanish television as a teenager, quickly drawing attention for her charisma and expressive personality. Acting career. Abril made her film debut in the early 1970s and gained national recognition in Spain for her appearances in both comedies and dramas. Her breakout came with the film Cambio de sexo, Sex Change, 1977, directed by Vicente Aranda, a director who would become one of her most important collaborators. Under Aranda's direction, Abril explored complex, emotionally charged roles that showcased her depth as an actress. Her international fame grew significantly during the 1980s and 1990s, especially through her work with Pedro Almodóvar, the icon of Spain's post-Franco cinematic renaissance. Abril starred in some of his most acclaimed films, including Atame, Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, 1990, Tacones Lejanos, High Heels, 1991. These roles cemented her reputation for playing bold, sensual, and emotionally intense characters, women caught between love, obsession, and liberation. Beyond Almodóvar, Victoria Abril became a major star in French cinema, where she worked extensively and even lived for many years. Her performance in Amantes, Lovers, 1991, won her the Silver Bear for Best Actress at the Berlin International Film Festival, further establishing her as an international talent. She has worked with numerous acclaimed directors, including Gerard Oury, Agustí Villaranga, and Carlos Saura. Music career. In addition to acting, Abril has also pursued a career as a singer, particularly in the French-speaking world. She released several albums that blended bossa nova and jazz influences, including Pucheiros do Brasil, 2005, which showcased her smooth voice and deep appreciation for Brazilian music. Personal life and style. Known for her fiery spirit, humor, and independence, Victoria Abril has always stood out as a strong and outspoken woman. She is fluent in several languages, including Spanish, French, and English, and is admired for her ability to move effortlessly between European film industries. Abril is also known for her bohemian fashion sense and vibrant personality, which mirror the intensity of her screen performances. Awards and recognition. Throughout her career, Victoria Abril has received numerous accolades, including Berlin International Film Festival, Silver Bear for Best Actress, 1991, multiple Goya Award nominations, Spain's equivalent of the Oscars, recognition from international festivals and critics for her fearless portrayals of complex women. Legacy. Victoria Abril remains one of Spain's most dynamic and influential actresses. With her mix of sensuality, intelligence, and artistic courage, she has helped redefine the image of women in Spanish cinema. Whether in dramatic, romantic, or comedic roles, she continues to captivate audiences across Europe and beyond. Victoria Abril's career is remarkable for both its longevity and diversity, spanning more than 5 decades across film, television, music, and stage. She has worked in multiple languages and styles, making her one of the most international Spanish actresses of her generation. Rise to stardom in Spain in the 1970s. Abril's early television work, especially her appearances on Un, Dos, Tres, Responda otra vez, a popular Spanish game show, made her a familiar face to Spanish audiences. Yet she quickly moved beyond entertainment television, gravitating toward more ambitious acting projects. Her early film roles reflected the social and sexual awakening of post-Franco Spain, often exploring taboo or controversial subjects with bravery and sensitivity. Her collaboration with Vicente Aranda proved particularly fruitful. Abril became his muse and starred in several of his most acclaimed films, including Cambio de Sexo, 1977, where she played a young person navigating gender identity and transformation, a daring theme for the time. Tiempo de Silencio, 1986, an adaptation of Luis Martín Santos's novel, showcasing her dramatic range. Amantes, Lovers, 1991, her defining role, a passionate and tragic love story set in 1950s Madrid. Her performance in Amantes was a masterclass in emotional intensity and erotic tension, earning her international praise and the Silver Bear for Best Actress at the Berlin Film Festival. The film also won multiple Goya Awards and is considered one of the finest Spanish dramas of the 1990s. Collaboration with Pedro Almodóvar. Victoria Abril's name is also inseparable from that of Pedro Almodóvar, whose films brought her to a global audience. In Anime, 1990, she starred opposite Antonio Banderas as a kidnapped actress who develops a complex emotional bond with her captor, a role that balanced dark humor, eroticism, and vulnerability. She followed this with Tacones Lejanos, High Heels, 1991, in which she played a successful TV anchor torn between her love for her mother and her romantic entanglements. Abril's ability to portray emotional extremes made her an ideal Almodóvar heroine, passionate, unpredictable, and deeply human. Through Almodóvar's films, Abril became part of Spain's cultural movida madrileña, a movement of artistic liberation and experimentation following the end of Franco's dictatorship. She embodied the spirit of that era, bold, liberated, and unapologetically expressive. Success in French and international cinema. In the 1990s and 2000s, Abril became a major figure in French cinema, working frequently in France and often speaking fluent French in her roles. She appeared in films such as Kika, 1993, another collaboration with Almodóvar, playing a makeup artist caught in a web of bizarre and darkly comic events. Nadie hablará de nosotras cuando hayamos muerto, 1995, a gripping thriller that won her another Goya Award nomination. French Twist, Gazon Maudit, 1995, a romantic comedy where she played a woman whose marriage is disrupted by a female lover, earning her a César Award nomination for Best Actress. Her work in France earned her great popularity and critical acclaim, particularly for her comedic timing and emotional authenticity. She became one of the few Spanish actresses to achieve true stardom in both Spain and France. Music career and artistic exploration. In the 2000s, Abril turned her creative energy toward music, releasing albums inspired by Brazilian rhythms and Latin jazz. Her album Pucheiros do Brasil, 2005, showcased her sensual, expressive voice and her love of world music. She toured with her band and performed live in several European cities, delighting audiences with her charisma and stage presence. Later career and recent work. Even in recent years, Victoria Abril has remained active in cinema and television. She appeared in projects such as Carne Tremula, Live Flesh, 1997, another Almodóvar collaboration, playing a former beauty queen entangled in a story of love and guilt. The Girl of Your Dreams, 1998, and The Seventh Day, 2004, directed by Carlos Saura, showing her continued commitment to Spanish film. Madres Paralelas, 2021. Though she did not appear in this Almodóvar film, she remains frequently associated with his artistic legacy. She has also worked in European television series and independent films, proving her continued appeal and adaptability. Personal life. Victoria Abril has always guarded her private life carefully, though it is known she has 2 sons. Having lived many years in Paris, she became a cultural bridge between Spain and France, equally at home in both languages and societies. Abril is known for her outspoken views on art, politics, and social issues, as well as her sense of humor and fearless individuality. Legacy and influence. Victoria Abril's impact on cinema is profound. She broke barriers in how women were portrayed on screen, portraying characters that were sensual but strong, emotional but intelligent, flawed yet deeply real. Her career is a testament to the power of artistic freedom and the courage to take risks. She is celebrated not only as a Spanish film icon but also as a European cultural figure, whose talent transcends borders. To this day, younger generations of actors cite her as an inspiration for her fearlessness and authenticity. Expanded biography of Victoria Abril. Victoria Abril's life and career represent a rare blend of artistic daring, international success, and emotional authenticity. She has worked with some of Europe's greatest filmmakers, played a vast range of characters, and remains one of the most respected actresses of Spanish cinema. Her ability to reinvent herself, from a teenage TV star to a dramatic powerhouse and later a musical performer, is a testament to her creativity and perseverance. Early life and background. Born Victoria Mérida Rojas on July 4, 1959, in Madrid, Spain, she was raised in a modest household. Her father was a civil engineer, and her mother worked as a hairdresser. Victoria grew up during the final years of Francisco Franco's dictatorship, when Spanish culture was heavily censored. Despite this, she showed an early inclination toward the arts, particularly dance and performance. At the age of 7, she entered the Conservatorio Superior de Música de Madrid to study ballet, where she trained rigorously for years. That discipline and grace later shaped her body language and expressiveness on screen. However, at 15, her life changed direction when she began appearing on Spanish television, marking the start of a career in entertainment that would soon take her far beyond Spain. Early acting career, 1973 to 1980. Victoria's film debut came in 1973 with the comedy, Obsesión, followed by a series of light-hearted films typical of the Spanish film industry of the time. Her natural charm and youthful energy made her a familiar face to audiences. But she quickly became interested in roles with greater depth. In 1976, she gained attention for her performance in Robin y Marian, which starred Sean Connery and Audrey Hepburn, a rare opportunity for such a young actress to appear alongside Hollywood legends. But her true breakout came the following year with Vicente Aranda's Cambio de sexo, Sex Change, 1977, where she played a teenager grappling with gender identity and societal expectations. The film was controversial for its time but earned Abril critical acclaim and marked the beginning of a long artistic partnership with Aranda. During the late 1970s and early 1980s, she appeared in several films that reflected Spain's transition to democracy, often portraying characters caught between personal liberation and social transformation. Abril became a symbol of La Movida Madrileña, a cultural movement celebrating freedom and creativity after decades of repression. The 1980s, a decade of transformation throughout the 1980s. Victoria Abril solidified her reputation as one of Spain's most gifted actresses. she starred in an array of dramas, thrillers, and romantic comedies, frequently taking on provocative and psychologically complex roles. Among her notable films from this period were El Lute, Camino o Revienta, 1987, a powerful crime drama based on the true story of Eleuterio Sanchez, which brought Abril her first Goya Award nomination. La Hora Bruja, 1985, and Tiempo de Silencio, 1986, which demonstrated her emotional range and naturalism. Her screen presence was electric, sensual but intelligent, fragile yet fierce, and directors found in her a performer capable of expressing the contradictions of modern womanhood. The 1990s. International recognition. The 1990s marked the height of Victoria Abril's fame and critical acclaim. She became a global star thanks to her collaborations with Pedro Almodóvar and Vicente Aranda, as well as her move into French cinema. In Atame, Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, 1990, directed by Almodóvar, Abril played a B-movie actress kidnapped by an obsessive fan, Antonio Banderas. The film's mix of dark comedy, eroticism, and emotional intensity was controversial but became a cult classic. Her next major success came with Amantes Lovers, 1991, again directed by Aranda. Abril's performance as a passionate, manipulative woman entangled in a tragic love triangle won her the Silver Bear for Best Actress at the Berlin International Film Festival. That same year, she starred in Tacones Lejanos, High Heels, 1991, another Almodóvar hit, where she portrayed a successful TV anchor haunted by her mother's glamorous shadow. The film earned her wide international recognition and critical praise. She continued to alternate between Spanish and French productions, gaining a strong following in both countries. In France, she starred in Gazon Maudit, French Twist, 1995, a groundbreaking romantic comedy about a bisexual love triangle, which earned her a César Award nomination and confirmed her as a European icon. 2000s to 2010s. Versatility and new directions. In the 2000s, Abril maintained a steady pace in film and television, taking on mature roles that reflected her evolving artistry. Her notable works from this period include The Seventh Day, 2004, by Carlos Saura, a tragic rural drama inspired by real events. Est la main de l'homme sans tête, 2009, a French mystery film where she delivered a haunting, layered performance. The Black Virgin, 2011, a surreal French-Belgian feature that blended faith, obsession, and dark humor. At the same time, she embraced her passion for music, releasing albums like Pucheiros do Brasil, 2005, and performing live throughout Europe. Her music, often Brazilian-inspired, reflected her playful and adventurous spirit. Personal life and philosophy. Victoria Abril is known for her outspoken views and fierce independence. She spent many years living in Paris, which she considers her second home. She has 2 sons, Martín and Felix, and while she keeps her family life private, she often speaks candidly about motherhood, fame, and the challenges women face in the film industry. Her personality is marked by wit, intelligence, and irreverence. Abril has often described acting as a game of truth, emphasizing her belief that vulnerability and courage are the essence of performance. Her ability to inhabit her characters so fully, whether tragic, comedic, or erotic, has made her one of Europe's most admired and fearless performers. Awards and honors. Throughout her career, Victoria Abril has received dozens of nominations and awards, including Silver Bear for Best Actress, Berlin International Film Festival, 1991. Amantes, César Award nomination for Best Actress, Gazon Maudit, 1995, multiple Goya Award nominations, including for El Lute, Amantes, Nadie hablará de nosotras cuando hayamos muerto, and the seventh-day Lifetime Achievement Awards from various European film festivals honoring her contribution to cinema legacy and cultural impact. Victoria Abril's legacy is that of a trailblazer, a woman who helped redefine the role of actresses in Spanish and European film. She broke free from stereotypes and insisted on playing women who were sensual, flawed, intelligent, and strong. Her work with Almodóvar and Aranda shaped modern Spanish cinema, while her success in France demonstrated her rare ability to transcend linguistic and cultural barriers. Younger actors and filmmakers often cite her as a model of artistic freedom and integrity. Even today, Abril remains an active, vocal figure in the arts, attending film festivals, giving interviews, and occasionally appearing in new projects. Her influence endures not only on screen but also in the broader story of how Spanish artists conquered the global stage. Complete and extended biography of Victoria Abril. Victoria Abril, born Victoria Mérida Rojas on July 4, 1959, in Madrid, Spain, is one of Europe's most charismatic and fearless actresses. Over a career spanning 5 decades, she has conquered Spanish, French, and international cinema with her unmatched intensity, sensual presence, and emotional honesty. Known for her collaborations with auteurs like Pedro Almodóvar, Vicente Aranda, and Carlos Saura, she remains a cultural icon who has consistently pushed the boundaries of female representation on screen. Early life and formation. Victoria grew up in post-war Spain under Franco's dictatorship, a time when artistic expression was limited and censorship was severe. Despite this, her natural vivacity and love of movement led her to study ballet at the Conservatorio Superior de Música de Madrid. She was originally on track to become a professional dancer, but fate drew her toward acting when she began appearing on Spanish television as a teenager. At 15 years old, she became a household name as a hostess on the popular variety show, Un, Dos, Tres. Responda otra vez. The exposure made her a national celebrity almost overnight. However, Abril was not content to remain a TV personality. She was determined to act and express herself through serious artistic work. Film debut and early career, 1973 to 1980s. Abril made her screen debut in 1973 in Obsesión, and quickly moved on to roles in Spanish films that captured the social transformations following Franco's death. Spain in the late 1970s was experiencing a wave of creative freedom, the movida madrileña, and Abril was at its heart. Her early films, though modest, revealed her ability to balance charm with raw emotional power. In 1977, she gave a groundbreaking performance in Vicente Aranda's Cambio de sexo, sex change. She played a young person questioning their gender identity, a topic that was revolutionary for Spanish cinema at the time. This role marked the beginning of a long and fruitful collaboration between Abril and Aranda, and it established her as a daring performer unafraid of taboo subjects. Through the 1980s, Abril starred in numerous dramas and thrillers such as La Muchacha de las Bragas de Oro, 1980, Tiempo de Silencio, 1986, El Lute, Camina o Revienta, 1987. Her portrayal of Eleuterio Sanchez's partner in El Lute earned her first Goya Award nomination. These roles, often depicting women struggling with love, freedom, and survival, showcased her magnetic screen presence. Rise to international fame. Late 1980s to 1990s, Victoria Abril's rise to international stardom came through her unforgettable collaborations with Pedro Almodóvar and Vicente Aranda, who each brought out different facets of her talent. Collaboration with Pedro Almodóvar in Atame. Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, 1990. Abril played a porn actress who becomes the captive and eventual lover of a released psychiatric patient, Antonio Banderas. The performance required immense vulnerability, and Abril infused the role with humor, eroticism, and humanity. The film, though controversial, became a classic of Almodóvar's filmography and established Abril internationally. In Tacones Lejanos, High Heels, 1991, she portrayed Rebecca, a glamorous TV journalist haunted by her famous mother, Marissa Paredes. Abril's portrayal of emotional dependency and suppressed anger resonated deeply with audiences. The film was a hit, earning her nominations for both the Goya Awards and international honors. She later reunited with Almodóvar in Kika, 1993, playing a makeup artist entangled in darkly comic situations involving sex, death, and absurdity, a quintessential Almodóvar mix. Collaboration with Vicente Aranda. Abril's partnership with Aranda produced some of her most acclaimed performances. Her role in Amantes, Lovers, 1991, is often cited as her greatest. She played Luisa, a passionate, possessive woman in post-war Madrid whose love affair ends in tragedy. The film won Abril the Silver Bear for Best Actress at the Berlin International Film Festival, cementing her as one of Europe's most powerful dramatic actresses. Other significant collaborations with Aranda include Intruso, 1993, a dark tale of obsession and death; La Pasión Turca, The Turkish Passion, 1994, a romantic and erotic drama.
Bye bye, thanks for watching, bye.